Okay, so I am going to talk about what I have done for my arrays and dictionaries and things so far. And so being used to structured languages and things. I think Swift is interesting, that you don't have to say that this is an int. It'll just automatically do that for you. But in other places, it is like more structured. Like this is something I'd expect from like Python, Ruby. But then in other places, it's more like C, where you have, like when you pass in a function, you have to say this is the type it is going to be.
Because I think it's interesting because it's like a strong type language, not a loose type language like JavaScript or PHP or something. It's strong typed, but you don't have to specify that it's strong type.
It's like strong type with like loose features.
So it's like exactly. So it's like the first thing it gets, that's what it is,
And then just interesting points that if you just do like a small number like that, it just automatically goes to an int. But to have it be a double, you need to have like a 0.0, and then I'll do that. And then I just think it's kind of cool that the default data types, they had like things I thought were interesting. Like you can say like how much farther it is to another number, and so I like passed in 40, and so it's like, okay, so we have 34, and distance to 40 is it's 6 numbers away. I was like, oh, I mean, if you were I was thinking it's like if I just count down, like that's how much farther we had left to go. But yeah, and then some of these I just kind of thought were interesting. Like, and then you can do like advanced by, so it just adds it. And then strings, just kind of getting familiar with some of the things that they had there. You can capitalize the string or uppercase the whole string, and then range. So what this will do is, this is how you search for like some characters in a string, and what this returns, it returns an optional that contains a range. And then this was my first time, working with optionals. I started this a while ago, and that's when I found out, to unwrap optionals, you have to have that exclamation mark. And then with the string, it has another one called remove range. So if you find out that it has it, then you can remove it. And this would probably kind of be nice to like use that extension thing you're talking about, to maybe mutate this to just pass in this, and if the range exists, then just remove it automatically, so you didn't have to do that in 2 steps.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd need to even mutate it. I think you just create another function. Like you can overload the method.
That's true.
So because that's when I first tried to override it, I overloaded it, and so then there was 2. So you could overload it to do that. So yeah.
And then here I am playing with lets. I didn't do that much. I was just like, okay, var a name. I can change my name from Richie to Preston, and I can't change a let. That doesn't work. And then loops. This is the old way to do loops. The controller, and then increase it, and then here's kind of a newer way in the array, and just loop for each one in it. And then there's this way. There's so many different ways to do the same thing, but it's kind of nice that with this that you can just kind of see right there, like, okay, so yeah, just 1 through 15. We're just gonna print all those out.
Barney said the for loops faster than the C, and it's like way easier to write.
I know. I thought that was cool too.
Cause usually, like you get like program like for each loops are slow, so like them,
Yeah.
And like a for is basically for each.
Yeah.
So but it's faster.
But it's faster, so it's like better to write it that way.
Yeah.
And then here I'm just looping through, a string array, And then I have my dictionary where I have name, age, city. And then here I'm getting the key and value out of the dictionary. And that's nice that that's so easy to just do that. And then I think this array is interesting that, it's like a for loop, but you're not getting anything for the value, just to make it even faster. Since you don't need it, you're just saying, just do this thing 5 times. Mm-hmm. So then it'll calculate that for you. And here I am playing with while loops. So start 1, finish at 16. So while it's trying to get up there, print it out. And then the repeat while loop, doing the same thing with the start, and finish is still 16. And then here I'm just testing out conditional statements, just making sure things work how they should. True does not equal false. True is equal to true, and false is equal to false. But yeah, then your string thing kind of was interesting to me. I was like, oh, so how do you compare strings? And so I tried this. Names are equal. They're not equal. And then I changed his name back to my name. So now names are equal. And then I thought it was kind of cool. You can compare different data types like arrays. So you can compare my array and my other array. And it notices that they're off a little bit. And then I was thinking, that's like, oh, well, he said something about strings kind of compared by a length first or something. So I was like, what if I do and make the array that has the exact same size as the other one, but not the same values? Mm-hmm. But it still comes out that they're not equal. And then when I put it with the same values, they are equal.
That's because he says first they compare it to length. And if they are, then it moves to the next step and it starts comparing the characters in it.
Yeah. So. And then I started working on these functions. And for some reason it was, and now I don't remember why. It doesn't give me any errors with anything, but then when I try and run it.
You have an error. Click the failed.
Failed.
Segmentation fault. So you are you're going out of bounds somewhere, probably in an array or something.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't get it till so when I comment this out, everything else works. So must be, so let's see, I have this.
It could be, yeah, your string or something, trying to get a value that's out of bounds or something. That's what I would guess. Yeah. So you're probably trying to like, you're removing a character here. You're probably trying to remove a character that doesn't exist or something. I don't know. Because that's usually what a segmentation fault means. So
yeah,
it's like you're out of bounds. So
okay, so I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so that's kind of some of the things I'd been going through. It's kind of fun to do these 2 things right here, just some financial mathematic things. But yeah, it's a cool language.